In this episode 4 of the Daily Hustle, we talk about turning your dreams into practical reality, how to raise money for your business, and an angel named Eric.
Broadcasting from the box that rocks and Thrive15.com world headquarters, it's the Daily Hustle with Daniel McKenna.
What's going on, guys? Daniel McKenna here, and along with Eric Chupp this time. Eric Chupp is sitting over here to my left. This is episode number 4 of the Daily Hustle, where our whole goal is to bring you a lot of value by bringing you answers to your questions and let you know what other thrivers all around the nation are talking about, the things that they want to learn, and the things that can help you learn your business and get better at your business, okay? And we're going to lean on the mentor wisdom here to do that. So let's jump right into question number 1 from the number one man, Eric Chupp. Eric Chupp, how's it going over there, man?
I'm doing really good, man. I have some tall shoes to fill.
You have some very tall shoes to fill.
Do people say that? Is that a thing?
No, I mean, they can say that. They can say that now.
Okay, cool.
The way this works around here, by the way, you have to have some music. You got to have some mojo here. Get some good mojo.
Let's get a little, Oh.
Okay, going back to the Prince. Okay.
How's that?
Hey, Prince is a fan favorite around here.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go crazy.
Okay, so let's go ahead and dial into that. Go ahead and, let that play in the background. There you go. Let's jump into question number 1 here.
All right, so this comes to us from Thomas. So Thomas says, I am a college student looking to start an event planning business. Right now it is just an idea, and currently I work 40 hours a week, plus my schoolwork. I need some practical advice to help get my business started, where it is no longer an idea, but a reality. I'm trying to start an events planning business, but I have no idea where to start. I can envision what the business would entail, but I'm confused on how to create a business plan. So how can we help Thomas out with getting him started?
Nice. Okay. So this is where a lot of entrepreneurs and budding entrepreneurs are. This is where a lot of you are. You have an idea, and you think you have something that you really want to do, thinking something you can make some money off of, or at least something that could support the sort of lifestyle you want to have, but you don't really know where to start. Right? Maybe you know you want to do photography, but you're really not sure how you're going to go ahead and make that business happen. Or maybe you really want to do some graphic design stuff. Or maybe you want to do something in, auto repair, but you don't know where to start. And so this is going to be really valuable stuff for you.
You've got a dream.
You got a dream.
You got to put that into reality now.
Okay. So this is a Napoleon Hill quote here. Napoleon Hill, author of Think and Grow Rich. Have you read Think and Grow Rich?
I have not.
It's a fantastic book. You should definitely give that a read. He says, first comes thought, then organization of that thought into ideas and plans, then transformation of those plans into reality. The beginning, as you will observe, is in your imagination. Okay, so he's basically saying, was that a little
headphone bump? My bad.
Little headphone bump. That's a little extra audio there for the people at home.
Waking everybody up.
Okay, so what he's saying is basically what we're talking about. You got to start putting those ideas you have into actual plans. That's going to be step number 1, okay? All right, so for Thomas and for the rest of you out there, we're going to approach this 2 ways, okay? If you need to start organizing your thoughts into plans, we're going to give you the template here of how to do that, but you have to decide if you're doing this because, 1, you need to just organize your thoughts and then get going, or 2, if it's because you need to raise some money. Depending on what your business is, maybe you need to raise some money. Maybe you need to gather a lot of money for your business to get the thing off the ground, okay? And so we have a lot of really good stuff here. First of all, though, if you can not take money, if you can avoid taking money in the beginning, that's a good thing. Mark Cuban says that startups take money way too early because they start giving away big percentages of the company early on before they even get any traction, right? They're just taking in a ton of money. They don't really know it works yet. They blow through that money real fast, learning along the way. Gary Vaynerchuk, another one of the favorites here, he says the best business plan is actually just getting out there, doing it, and proving it works. And then after you've proved it works, then getting money, you don't have to take such a harsh deal. You don't have to say, okay, I'll just give you anything you want for some money.
I'll give you 80% of the company.
Right, because you've already proven that it works. You've already proven that your idea is good and sound and the market will support it.
Right.
Okay. But if you are in a place where maybe you need that money to just test your idea, but you have an idea, you just don't have the capital to fund it yet, we're going to go through this business pitch deck. Okay, this business pitch deck, and this is going to help you organize your thoughts too. So either way, depending on where you are, whether you're just trying to organize your thoughts or trying to actually get some money for your business, this is going to be really good for you. And this is going to be coming from Naval Ravikant. He is the founder of AngelList. Angel List is basically a meetup spot for people that are trying to raise money and people that are trying to get jobs at startups. Okay. So the biggest names in angel investing, the biggest names in investors will go on to Angel List and see what kind of businesses are on there, who's trying to raise money,
see what looks
what
good,
are they
see
doing,
what they're doing. Okay.
And this is also where you can see where other people that have invested money have invested money. It tells you they've put money into Twitter, they've put money into Uber or whatever. And I only picked those two because Naval, he's put money into both of those early stage. He saw the dream. He's like, I'm in.
He read it. It was good. It was going to be good.
Also, Postmates, also another company that was acquired by Microsoft, Yammer. Okay, so he's had a lot of experience in this, and then he's the one that founded AngelList to make these connections happen. Almost like a Craigslist, except for people that are trying to raise a bunch of money.
For rich people.
Right. So he's seen a bunch of these. He's seen a bunch of these pitches. He's been in a ton of these meetings. He's seen what's worked. He's seen what hasn't worked. And he said that his favorite deck template comes from David Cohen at Bessemer Venture Partners. You can actually find this online, and we're gonna put the actual link online here to give you the specifics. You can go find these pitch deck templates online. But let's dive into number one here. Again, we're going to clarify your dream. We're going to clarify your vision into something that is actually tangible that you can then approach and execute and see if it works. And if you're trying to raise some money, this is the great format for you. So let's dive into number one here. This is a 12-stepper. This is a 12-stepper here.
12-step program.
12-step program. Number one, this is like practical, dirty, practical. Number one, what do we got, Chuck?
All right, number one is the cover. You're going to want to include your logo, your tagline, and complete contact information on
Okay,
that.
so this doesn't seem like rocket science yet.
Not yet.
But if you're talking to people that have a lot of money, they're going to expect things a certain way. They're going to expect a certain level of formality.
Professionalism.
Some professionalism.
Yeah.
Just to know if you're legit or not.
Yeah.
Just to know if you have, is this person real? Or is this person, just had a whole lot of cough syrup and then just somehow got into this meeting?
Coffee and cough syrup.
Coffee and cough syrup. And they're just buzzed and they're ready to... Okay, so include your logo, tagline, and complete contact information. That's some formalization type stuff on the cover of what you're going to have for your actual pitch deck. Again, this is what you're going to use to try to raise money. And if you're not raising money, it's what you're going to use to help you explain your own idea to yourself in an executable way. Okay, number two.
All right, here we go with number two. Mission/summary, okay? So you want to summarize the key compelling facts of the company. Make sure you cover all the topics that are in your elevator pitch. In fact, just steal the content from the elevator pitch.
So this is where you are going to actually, in a summarized way, say, Eric Chupp's mobile musician service is going to change the game by providing high-quality musician service in a mobile way that has never been seen before.
Get out of my head, Dan. How'd you know I was going to
taking on? Okay, so you're basically summarizing. This is how you would actually pitch it to somebody. If you saw somebody in an elevator and you're like, oh man, that's ABC from the big venture capital company. I got to talk to him. And you come up to him and say, okay, here's my idea. My idea is this. It's bam, and you hit him with the elevator pitch, right? That's basically what you're doing here on the mission summary. Now, it can't be 4 pages long.
Right.
Right? The whole point of the elevator pitch is 30 seconds.
In and out. You got a limited amount of time.
30 seconds. You got to get in there. You got to catch their attention from the beginning.
Right.
It has to capture their attention. If it's a very boring mission or a very boring summary there in the very beginning, there's no reason for them to keep going.
They'll just start moving on to the next item on their list. And
they have more money than they have time. So as soon as you make them zone out, they're checking their email or they're trying to get off the elevator maybe. Okay. So that's number two. Number one was cover. Number two is your mission and summary. Number three is your team.
All right. So with your team, highlight past accomplishments of the team. If your team has been successful before, investors may believe it can be successful again. Include directors or advisors who bring something special to the company. Don't include positions you intend to fill. Save that for the milestone slide. Okay? So put yourself last. It seems humble and lets you tell a story about your career, about how your career has led you to the discovery of the idea.
Okay, so your team here. Why is this so high in the 12-step process here, of which attention is very important and keeping their attention is very important? Why is the team number three? Basically, the first thing that you're actually diving into some detail is because your team and what they've accomplished before this is what's going to make the difference between a lot of people saying yes or no. We're going back to Gary Vaynerchuk. He says he bets on the jockey. He bets not on the horse. He doesn't bet even on the business idea a lot of times. Yeah, some business ideas for sure.
They're no-brainer.
No-brainer. He sees the vision. He's got it. If he doesn't quite see the vision, but he likes the jockey, he likes the guy that's running it, he likes the team that's putting it together, and he thinks that team can execute, because, again, execution is where it's at. Ideas don't mean anything until you actually can execute them, right? So if I have the greatest idea in the world that you guys have never seen before, it's going to make billions of dollars, but I can't execute, and maybe Chup's idea isn't quite as good, but he can execute, he's the winner. I'm not the winner, right? So this is where betting on the jockey matters, and that's talking about your team. Who on your team has some credibility? Who on your team can you say, this was Michael. He designed the website for Garth Brooks. He designed the website for Panera. And by the way, that's Jason Stewart. I'm basically giving you Jason Stewart's resume.
Michael Stewart.
Jason Michael Stewart. I don't know if that's his. I doubt that's his middle name. I hope it is, because then I see him like a genius.
That
but
works
I don't.
really well.
I don't think that's his middle name. But basically, you're saying, okay, we have XXX on board. They've done this. They've done this. They've done this, and you're building credibility for saying, okay.
If they've done this once, they can most likely do it again. They can execute. They've shown me they can do that. So let's move forward with this.
Exactly. Now, if you are not on the money-raising path here and you don't have a team, this is where you can start plugging in, what do I need in a team? What do I need? What do I need to pull off my idea? Think through all the details of how you'd actually execute your idea, and then who are the people or what are the roles you need? Okay, I have an idea that I want to start delivering groceries to people from grocery stores. They can order online. I'll deliver it straight to them. Okay, cool. What do I need? Well, I'm going to need someone to either answer the phones or someone to build an app. Okay, so let's say we go app. Okay, I'm going to need someone to build an app, and I'm going to need someone to maintain customer service of that app if I don't know how to code. Okay, I'm going to need drivers. I'm going to need somebody to go talk to these grocery stores and convince them this is a good idea and get them to promote this.
Right.
I'm going to need to figure out the financials of, okay, the accounting coming in, how much money do I need? These are all like, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Figure out how to hire for your weaknesses. Okay?
That's good.
If I'm strong at accounting, but I am not strong at app development, it doesn't do me any good at this point if I'm legitimately, like, I want to build a business to try, like, okay, I'm going to start learning to code now, but I want to start a business right now. If you're like, okay, a few years from now, I'm cool, whatever. If not, you need to hire for your weaknesses.
Right.
Hire for the things that you don't do well, because, again, especially if you're trying to raise money, but if you're just trying to build your business plan here of what you can actually do it, know what you are good at. Have some self-awareness to know, I can pull this off, I cannot pull this off.
That's important. You don't want to overload yourself, and then you're spending all your time learning how to do something. Whenever you're trying to execute a big vision, you need to have good time management in that.
Spend your time on what you're good at and focus on what you can win in. Focus on the things that you can do to actually make a difference and win in those things, and then figure out what kind of business roles you need to fill in your weaknesses. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so this guy, our man here, our main man Thomas, he had an event planning business that he's talking about doing out of college.
Correct.
All right, Thomas, what can you do in your event planning business? What can you do well? What can you not do well? What do you maybe need to hire on or maybe need to get a partner for if you have this vision of how you want this event planning business to go?
Exactly.
Okay, so that was number 3 there. Let's jump on to number 4.
All right, number 4 is the problem. So describe the customer, market, and problem you address without getting into your product. Emphasize the pain level and the inability of competitors to satisfy that need.
Okay, so before we get into number 4 here, again, we're always going to lean on the knowledge of the mentors here. We're always going to give you the best of what people are doing and give you that knowledge. Okay, so we have stuff from Gary Vaynerchuk in here. We have stuff from Mark Cuban in here. We have this deck coming from Naval Ravikant and David Cohen. But I can also say that I have done this exact same process. I was part of the team that put together the pitch deck, the 50 or so or 60 or so different versions of the pitch deck that we then use to raise money to build Thrive 15. I've been in those meetings to change those little pitch deck things. I've been in those meetings where we actually set up the projection system, make sure all the pitch decks are out where they're supposed to be. I've been up there pitching to people in a room full of people that are sitting there looking at me and saying, should we give this person money or not? I've done all these things, and I followed this exact template, and it worked. Now, you have to have good stuff, but I'm saying that this process, if you can nail this process and you can nail all the things in the process, it's going to work. Now, I know that we called probably hundreds of people when we were trying to raise money for Thrive. We probably called hundreds of people and probably got dozens of replies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We probably called hundreds of people and probably got dozens of replies, and then probably, I don't know, we probably pitched at least 5 or 6 times to raise the money that we needed to raise, but it works. This is factual. I've seen it work. I've done it. The mentors, the wisdom they're saying this works.
Yeah.
So dial in here.
So
okay.
does it take somewhat of like a daily hustle?
Wow. Wow.
Did you see what I did?
I did see what you did there. I like that.
All right, cool.
That was good. That was good.
All right, so diving in to
number
number 4.
We might have to keep Shep around here a little bit.
Ooh.
Number 4, the problem. Okay, so this is where you're going to actually describe what is the problem you're solving. All the entrepreneurship is you're finding a problem that the market has, and you're solving that in a way that can be profitable for you. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's what it is. That's like the basic, like, why would you start a business? It's because other people out there have a need, and you can solve that need better than other people can solve that need. Oh, and you can make money doing it.
That's a good part of it.
That's how you. Yeah. That's why you start a business. Okay. Yeah. So what is the problem? Okay. So for Thomas, what is the problem that your business, your event planning business, can solve that other event planning businesses in the area do not solve? Or what can you do that's better than them? Or what's the pain points of the people that can't plan events well? Okay. Let's see. They don't know who to call. There's a chair guy. There's a decorations guy. There's a lighting guy. There's the DJ.
Catering company.
Maybe there's a catering company. Maybe you got to book the venue.
Find a tent.
Maybe you got to find a tent. Maybe you got to have a valet service.
Right.
There's a whole lot of variables here, right?
Right.
Okay, so one of your pain points is you're saying the people that are throwing these events don't know who to talk to, and they do this maybe once a year, maybe. So it's not like they know the questions to ask. They don't know how to organize this information. They don't know how to get good deals on what they're trying to do. And I, Thomas, in my event planning service, I can do that.
Right. So they're kind of flying blind, and you want to have the solutions to all those problems.
Yeah. So in this example, what are the reasons that your event planning service should exist?
So he's kind of looking for his unique value proposition.
Besides the fact that you want to do that, which, by the way, isn't necessarily a great reason for a business. It's a good starting point, but you just wanting to do that doesn't mean it's a great business idea unless you can solve a need. Okay?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so what is the need that your business at home, whatever it is you do, what is the need that your business solves, and why can you solve it better than others? There's competition later, so we'll get into that too, but why can your business do that? You have to emphasize the pain level and the inability of competitors to satisfy the need. Here's the pain. Here's the people that are trying to solve the pain, and they can't solve the pain like I can, Thomas, the event planner.
Yeah.
And here's why, okay?
Cool.
So that was number 4.
All right, so let's move down to number 5. All right, the solution, okay? Introduce your product and its benefits and describe how it addresses the problem you just described. Include a demo such as a screencast, a link to working software or pictures. God help if you have nothing to show.
Okay, so that's where the solution is, right?
Right.
Okay, so if you say, okay, my event planning company, the problem is that people don't know how to find a valet service. And then somebody says, okay, how do you find the event planning, the valet service? And you're like, well, we'll figure that out when we get there. That's a bad.
You're probably not going to want to include that.
That's probably not a good, you're probably not raising very much money there today, okay? So this is, especially if you're trying to raise money, this is a big part of it. What is the problem? It's got to be an obvious enough problem that people get it. The people in the room need to understand, yeah, that's a problem. I do get that, okay? Solution, this is how I solve that problem, and it needs to be a good solution in a way that the people in the room now say, okay, before we start getting into the specifics.
Because you don't want those people in the room.
No, you don't want that.
That's not a good thing.
No. Well, you don't want literal crickets in the room for sure.
You do want to send a bug guy in before you start pitching. Right?
Depending on where you're pitching, I hope you don't need the bug guy. But that solution is what's going to convince them that you have an idea that might be worth looking into. Okay, because you haven't even really gotten into the specifics yet. You're just saying, here's the problem, here's how I'm going to solve it. And at that point, they might be like, go on.
Okay.
Go on.
Go on.
I'm interested. Go on.
Yeah. So you want to get them to reach a level of curiosity. So you got to bring all of this stuff so that they're curious and interested, not just like we were saying earlier. Oh, I got an email, I got a text message from a partner, whatever.
And if you're not trying to raise money, but you are trying to organize your thoughts into an executable action plan, this part matters to you. What is it that you're doing? What are the pain points? How are you going to address those pain points? If you don't know yet, it's not time to jump into business, okay? You need to know how you're going to address those pain points. Will things change? Absolutely. Business is very dynamic. It's very fluid. You have to be able to change according to the market, according to what you're seeing, the feedback you get. But you need to have an idea going into it. This is how we're going to solve this problem. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's go on to number 6.
All right, cool. Number 6, that's technology. All right, so describe the technology behind your solution. Focus on how the technology enables the differentiated aspects of your solution. If appropriate, mention patent status.
So a lot of businesses, especially startups now, are tech-based businesses.
Yeah.
There's a level of technology involved that matters a lot to the business.
That's going to separate you from your competition.
This is approaching that solution stuff again, okay? Here's how we're going to do it. This is our solution. By the way, we have an app guy that has done this, or we have this service figured out that does this, or what is the technology behind it to further convince me that you have an idea of what you're talking about in the solution?
Yeah.
Have you actually thought this through? Is it just a solution? You're like, we're gonna build a game-changing app. And then you're like, okay, have you built an app before, or do you understand how apps work? Do you know anything about technology for your app?
That's where you don't want the credit.
Well, I'm gonna, I figured I would just find somebody at that point. That's not a good winning.
So are you saying if you did find yourself somewhat in this position, you would have wanted to have that team member found before you go in? And
you at least need to be able to describe with knowledge and actually know what you're talking about, what it is you need to do.
Okay.
You don't have to have the world-class level coder on your team. That's going to help if you do.
Yeah.
But a lot of these businesses jumped in there with 1 or 2 guys, big startup type things, with an idea. This is how we're going to solve this idea, and somebody saw the vision and ran with it, right?
Yeah.
They didn't have their whole team of web people that they needed at the time. That's where they used the money for,
right?
Okay? But they did know specifically, this is the idea, this is how we're going to approach it technology-wise, these are the things we need to do with it,
yeah.
Okay? Do you actually have an idea of what you're trying to do? Have you actually thought it all the way through? Okay? Cool. So that's number 6. Let's jump on to number 7.
All right, so then we're going to go to number 7, marketing. Who are the customers? How big is the market? You summarize this in your problem slide, and this is your opportunity to elaborate. How are you going to acquire customers? What customers have you already acquired, if any?
How are you going to distribute your solution to your ideal and likely buyers? How are you going to let them know that you're out there?
And who are those ideal and likely buyers?
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, that's part of the problem.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely. So how am I going to get my name out there? How am I going to get my company name out there? How am I going to get all of the venues in my local area for this Thomas event planning service, which we need a better name for? I mean, I'm sure he has a better name.
Probably so.
He has a better name.
Probably so.
Thomas's taxidermed squirrel event planning service.
I hope his work lasts a little longer than this one.
We've got a logo ready for you now, Thomas. It's right there on the desk. I'm sure he's picked something better than that.
I hope so.
Okay. So how am I going to get my event planning service out to all of the venues in my area? Or how am I going to get my event planning service to all the corporations that throw these big holiday parties? How am I going to get this out to them? How are they going to know I exist? Okay? Now, event planning services, you're probably not even trying to raise money for, okay, to begin with. So if that's your specific thing, now you're thinking to yourself, you're building in your own mind, how am I going to do this? Because it's not just the execution of the idea. You have to have people that want to pay you for that idea. And how do you do that? How do you get your idea out to them? Okay? So regardless of what your idea is, How am I going to get my name and my business out to them in a way that if it's scalable or not scalable, I can start bringing people in the door that want to pay me.
Right.
Or at least want to talk to me about my idea.
Yeah. Hear what I have to say. See if it's something they're interested in.
See if I'm a good fit for them as their event planner.
Right.
Okay. That was number 7.
Let me jump in here.
Yeah.
If you're at that step, are there downloadables for this like marketing type stuff on Thrive 15?
There are lots of downloadables for this on
So
Thrive
if you're
15.
getting into this stuff, you can get in and check out some type of, you need to build your 3-legged marketing stool, right?
There
If
are
you're gonna be
you're
there.
just speaking love languages over there. Just love languages. So thrive15.com, you can get all sorts of downloadables about these marketing, about these 3-legged marketing, about pitch decks, about how to do sales, spreadsheets. There's all kinds of downloadables on there. It's pretty crazy. And if you have not found out about it yet, if you have not thought about this or found out about it, we do the workshops, thrivetimeshow.com/workshops. Right up there. Show them, Sam. Show them, Sam. It's a 2-day workshop that will completely change your business. Supercharge that business. So if you have a good idea, but you don't have all the pieces, you can leave here with an action plan that's going to be crazy, crazy beneficial to you.
Right.
So you can get on thrive15.com, look for those marketing downloadables.
Right. Don't reinvent the wheel. We've got a bunch of this stuff. Like we said, we lean on the mentors. We've got their best practice systems, all that stuff already ready for you guys.
That's right. So thrive15.com for that, or thrivetimeshow.com/workshops to attend a workshop here in the building and get some one-on-one coaching. All right, so that's all the time we have for this episode. This is a longer episode, a lot of steps, 12 steps here on this one to help you turn your dreams into reality. So there's actually going to be a part 2 to this episode. So make sure you come back for the Daily Hustle, episode 4, part 2, here with Eric Chepp and Daniel McKenna here on the Daily Hustle.